And with peace and black power family, I want to welcome everybody to another NCRBGZ Productions. Today we're going to talk about the lottery part two. A gift or a curse. Part two to the show. Felt like we had a good conversation on the last one, so we decided, that we'll talk about it again today for a little while. Um, as y'all know, I'm Stuart Fields, president of NCRBGZ. And we have a couple esteemed guests to be a part of the show. So we can just have a little small dialogue about the lottery. So we're gonna let Al Tariq introduce himself, say hi to the family, whatever you want to say to him.
Hey, what's going on, everybody, man? I'm glad to be on the show tonight. I watched the live show last week, or the replay, I must say, and it's very interesting. A lot of good information put out, and and some stuff that I think that we missed. So I wanted to come back up here and rejoin the crew.
All right.
Hi, this is Julie. I'm a friend of Stuart, um, and I'm from the UK.
All right. Thanks, Judah. Thanks, Mr. Al Tariq. Yeah, it was a good conversation. I sent Melvin the invite. So I don't know if he's gonna make it or not, along with a couple more people. So we may get some more visitors, some more people, to tune into the show. But like Mr. Al Tariq said, it was a good show talking about the lottery. So I had a couple questions pertaining to the lottery, and it kind of like made the show a success because we was talking about actually, you know, the functions of the lottery, and also have we been hoodwinked because of the lottery? So some of the questions that we had posed the last show was, do we have a gambling problem? How much money is spent annually in the lottery? Who is to blame? A lot of times we've been told you have to be in it to win it. That's what a lot of things, you got to be in it to win it. You know, um, is the government cashing in on people addictions? Is it other things that we can actually be doing with this money? Could we be spending that money elsewhere? You be said, it's my money. I do what I want to. You can't tell me what to do with my own money. Now, these are just some questions. Maybe somebody got some more they want to throw out there that's pertaining to the subject of the lottery. So, today I'm gonna take a different approach than I took the last show because today I'm gonna defend playing the lottery. That's the approach I'm gonna take today. I'm gonna switch up and take a different approach. So, with that being said, do America or do we have a gambling problem? Yes, we do. But not only do we have a gambling problem, we have an alcohol problem. We have a drug problem. We have a mass media problem. We have a sugar problem. It's an epidemic of us being overweight. We have a problem with being our natural self. There's so many problems that we have in America. Why are we just going to point out lottery? We have a problem in America, especially as black people, with as spending money on anything besides the lottery. Black women spend money buying hair from the Chinese family or Chinese stores. So yeah, we got a spending problem. We have a spending problem. We have a poverty problem. We have a lot of different problems in America. So why are we going to single out lottery? If I decide that I want to gamble with the opportunity of winning, I'm just taking a chance. Hell, you take a chance when you get in your car and drive up and down the road. You never know what may happen. You take a chance just by basically doing anything is a chance because you have the opportunity to fail or succeed. So yeah, I gamble if I want to spend my money. Yeah, I play the scratch offs if I want to spend my money. And that's just my preference. And this is something that I think I can do. And I don't feel like no one should be able to tell me that I can't do it or I shouldn't be doing it. Because I bet if we all analyze each other, we will find things that we do or you may do that you shouldn't do. So why are we gonna pick on the lottery? That's the stance I'm taking today. I'm taking the stance of somebody who plays the lottery. Y'all can hop in at any moment. Anybody want to hop in, say anything you want to say? You can hop right on in here.
Hey, Julie, do you have anything you wanna add to that?
No, sir. Carry on.
All right, then. Hey, Stuart, I got something to say. Everything that you mentioned, when I contacted you after the last show, and I said I studied the show, I wrote down some things that I wanted to address. So everything that you just mentioned sums up the things that I wanted to address. So as a people, I say we have all those problems, but to sum it all up, I say we have one major problem. A lot of minor problems, but one major problem. That major problem is a feel good problem. So when those spend their money on the lottery, alcohol, drugs, whether people want to call marijuana a drug or not, shopping, clothes, hair, shoes for the dudes, video games, all this other stuff. So at the end of the day, I think, in my opinion, that it's a feel good problem. It's a problem that we want to temporarily patch up by spending some money because we made it. We made some money, all right? We want to spend some money. It's an emotional problem. I feel like that we have a problem that a lot of Americans have, not just black people, but I'm talking to our people, is that we go all week, most of us, doing something that we do not like doing, which is clocking in at the job. I think after all week of clocking in at the job, and not just the job, but all the stresses of life, that on a daily basis or a weekend basis, we want to do some things that's going to relieve some stress, and that's being consumers and doing something temporarily to make ourselves feel good. Now, by playing the lottery, since we on that subject, that's a very temporary feel good moment because 11 o'clock most of the times, not unless you got a day or evening drawing. I mean, an afternoon drawing on the evening, 11 o'clock, 11:30. We checking those numbers, and 9 times out of 10, almost 10 times out of 10, we ain't won nothing. So that temporary feel good moment goes away very quick, and then it's on to the next, which is the next day. I know someone very close to me, very very close to me, and her friends say that shopping is therapy. I hear that a lot amongst the females. Males have that same issue as well. You go to any mall on a consistent basis, you see people spending money that just like the lottery can be used on other things. I'm a part of that myself when it comes to certain things that I like. Everybody has their thing. Like you just stated a while ago, we can look across the board in our own personal life and find something that we do that we shouldn't do. And I think that comes from we can trace it way back in the day from us being deprived of certain opportunities or certain things that now we have the chance to do it. We just do it recklessly, and that's a problem. But one of the things that I like that NCRBG stands for is to drive the point home of the things that we can be doing with our resources, not just money, but all of our resources. So at the end of the day, and I'll say this to end my little point on that, just on that topic of why do we do the things that we do, whether it's lottery or anything else, I say, first off, we got to have a plan. And that's another show. We got to have a plan of what we can do with our money. And then at the end of the day, when like I'll bring up something that I heard Miss Julie say last show of the people that she surround herself with over there in the UK. You know, it's a group of them from all cultures who pool their ideas together and their resources to say, one might say, well, from my culture, we do this. And then all of them get together and figure out, is that a good way? Is that going to work? And then when they agree on it, they make it happen. That's something that's another topic as well. But I just want to point that out is that we all in this thing together, but we going in separate ways. Every way you can look at it. We ain't on the same page with too much. So when it comes to the lottery or anything else, I just say sum it up real quick. It's a feel good moment. It makes us feel good temporarily. And then at the end of the day, because we dread what we really have to go back to, at the end of the day, we gonna always need that feel good moment because 97% of the time on a daily basis, whether it's because we have to work and we missing our kids, because we can't go out and do the things that we really want to do, so we do the small scale things. Um, I just think that that's part of the problem is that we don't feel good most of the time, so we have to supplement that by spending money.
All right, that's what's up. We appreciate that. Ashley, I see you in. Do you want to make a comment? We're talking about the lottery. A gift or a curse.
No, I'm good. I'm just listening.
Okay. Well, you know, in small areas, and you right, Altariq. A lot of times it's feel good, and sometimes you don't have nothing else to do, right? In some small areas, it really ain't nothing to do. So, playing the lottery or you know putting money into the beast or into the system because we're in a market. At the end of the day, this is what we're in. We're in a market. And in this market that we're in, consuming, spending is how the market is ran. And that's how we're engineered as people to be, is to keep the market running. Right. So, like with the lottery and playing the lottery, you know, for those that do it, it's a sense of hope. It gives you a sense of something to look forward to. And it's also the sense of the possibility of winning. But the most important point is the fact that the opportunity was first given to you in the first place. So when it comes to the lottery and the scratch offs, it's the fact that the government decided, that we're going to give you the opportunity to gamble. And I kind of touched on this last week. It's like certain tendencies that we have as people, they can be manipulated and used to better, or it can be used for good, or it can be used for bad. So some of our tendencies and some of our weaknesses are easily exploited. And sometimes it's exploited by those at which you trust, or you wouldn't think that they are exploiting you in the name of possibly winning, right? So when you look at the North Carolina lottery, they threw educational in front of it. So the North Carolina educational lottery, they put the word educational with lottery. Now that in itself tells you it's a manipulation, because how can you mix education with gambling? They don't mix. That's like oil and water. That's not a good mix. But the fact that they packaged it in that form to us lets you know that they are feeding on our insecurities. Now, I will admit, North Carolina did push back on lottery for a while. You know, North Carolina kind of like certain things, the state is kind of slow on allowing things to get through. So they did push back for a while. But when you tie it into education and the roads and fixing the infrastructure, that's part of the reason for the lottery. That's nothing but a mask. You're masking it. But since the lottery got here, more schools have closed down. Since the lottery came. So it's a mask, but they feeding off people insecurities. And that's why we say, is it a gift or a curse? You know, and it's sad that the way it's packaged is letting you destroy yourself, but you're destroying yourself in the name of possibly bettering yourself. You get what I'm saying? It's like you can have the opportunity to win 10, 15, $20 million. But to have this opportunity to win this money, you gotta, you gotta be in it to win it. So you gotta purchase the tickets. And then the odds are very slim to none that you actually may win. But just the idea that you can buy a $1 ticket and win 25, 30 million, it sounds great from the outside looking in, especially when it's a known fact that gambling is addictive. It's addiction. And if you talk to a lot of store owners or people who own convenience stores or gas stations, they will tell you that a lot of their revenue is made from lottery. A lot of their revenue is from the lottery. They don't make that much off the oil sales or the gas. They don't make that much off when they sell the gas. They may make 5 cents, 3, 4 cents if that. They're not making that much off gas. So a lot of their revenue now is coming through the lottery. So you have to weigh all these things in account when you understand that we are in a market. And in this market, you're buying and selling constantly. That's what this market is for. Alto, you want to jump in?
Yeah, I was waiting my turn, but at the end of the day, I think a big problem of ours from really fixing things is the accountability problem. I don't like to give our people, myself included, a way out. You know, if they took away, if the government or the state took away the lottery, man, we're gonna have something else. I mean, I've worked at big factories, Purdue being one of them, right? Coming out of high school or whatever, working at Purdue twice before I moved away. And I done seen Smithfield, Gwaltney, I done seen Shipyard, all these big places where mass numbers of us and others, but a lot of us, man, we playing football pools. We creating our own lottery. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I look at it like this. I still believe that, it's it has nothing to do with what somebody else puts an opportunity in front of us. Because at the same time somebody puts an opportunity in front of us, we have the flip side of the opportunity not to do it. You know what I mean? Like I used to look at, and then, like I said, previous shows that we've had discussions on, and we talking about how the drugs got here, who put the drugs here, how the guns got here, who put the guns here. But then on the flip side of that, man, we got the same opportunity to use, to shoot, not to use, not to shoot, not to rob, not to steal. You know what I mean? It's accountability thing, and I think if we hold each other's foot to the fire, what I mean, that we can get some progress made with changing it. Like I was talking to a gentleman today, and he said, the most knowledge that all the knowledge that he have, he don't, like you said in the last show. Our generation might be gone. I still don't believe that because there's some people out there, like-minded individuals who think like us. They just may not say anything. But look at the younger generation. You know what I mean? I remember us coming up. They called us Generation X. They said they said that we was the first forgotten generation. Now the millenniums or whoever they are, you know what I mean? They supposed to be the forgotten generation because if Generation X was the forgotten generation, and we're the generation that's raising the millennials, what are the millennials learning? If the forgotten generation is raising them. You know what I'm saying? So I think at the end of the day, it don't matter if it's a lottery or whatever that the system puts in place. I think we're gonna create our own feel good moment, man.
Okay, I'm with you. Keep, hold on, let me show y'all something right fast. What I did was I went and pulled some up. So let me share my screen right fast.
Okay.
I like to show stuff. Let me
All right. While you pulling that up, I want to hit on something else that you just said right then,
go ahead.
because I appreciate you getting on the other side. Because everything that I want to talk about now, you on the other side, and we can have a dialogue. Because I think you and I agree on most of this stuff, but I understand that you taking um, the other side of your thought process. Not you're just not taking a position on the other side to have a debate. You two sided with it because it's some the system and some of us. But see, I want to say this: when you said that the lottery, the store owners is talking about they make most of their money off the lottery, not gas. Hey, listen, I'm a victim of what they make their most money off of, and that's tobacco. Ain't nobody standing in line like the cigarette smokers. You can sit up there and have a separate line for lottery all you want to, and that would not add up to the amount of people that go past that cash register and purchase tobacco. So once again, now as a businessman, as a business owner, I would say this: when you we look at people capitalizing off of other people's habits or other people's what you said a while ago. You said they capitalizing off of our how did you phrase it, brother?
I said they capitalize off our insecurities, our
Insecurities. Yes. Yeah. So let me ask you this, man. Um Now it's two sides to that though, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really two sides to that. Like everybody gets capitalized off of. We live in a capitalistic society, and people run from that. People think that that's like saying Satan's name or Candyman three times when you say capitalistic society. It seems evil, but guess what though? It is if it's used the wrong way. If somebody's being lied, cheated, or stolen against, then I can say then that's dead wrong. But if you, it's like going into a store, man. It's like catching a hungry man, and or let's put it like this, not even hungry, because that'll be mischievous. So let's say it like this. So if you have a small population in a certain area, and you have a meat market in the area, and these people are getting the meat almost the same price as any other meat market around the country, right? But they're business owners. So, like in a Hosky or St. John, like we'll just say Hosky because everybody in St. John traveled to a Hosky to shop. So, in a Hosky, the meat man can't charge y'all down there the price of a pork shoulder or a steak the same as the meat man in Raleigh or Atlanta. He gonna jack them prices up because he is more people there. That's an opportunity for him to make money. And we said he capitalizing on the size of the population. Is that good or bad? Is that right or wrong? Is that business? So if someone, and it may be wrong, but then in the eyes of a business owner or the market, right, it might be right. Just like the stock market. The same gentleman I was talking to, he said that he has investment properties, and he's also 10 years strong in the stock market. Well, I let him know, and this goes to our people as well, me, myself included. I had to stop myself from getting in the stock market. For one, I wasn't educated to get in the stock market. And for two, they always told me if you can't afford to lose what you put in and it don't end, like if I put $5,000 in the stock market, I'll be a fool to put $5,000 in the stock market and that's all I got in my savings account or my bank account. If I put $5,000 in the stock market, but I only got $10,000 in the bank, that's 50% of my net worth. I'd be a fool to do that, but you have some people who do. Now, is it wrong that a system put the stock market out there for somebody to take an opportunity to indulge in? Because I look at the lottery the same way as the stock market. If you cannot afford to lose everything, if it's like you said on last show, $20 and $50 a day, if you can't afford to do that, I don't look at the people who put the lottery in place as the bad people, man. I look at whoever is putting their money in the lottery and know next week you might be eating oodles and noodles, or your kids may not be eating, or your lights may be off. Then shame on you. I can't give us a pass or not hold us accountable for that move, man. If I go out there right now and buy a doggone Bentley, knowing daggone well I can't pay a $4,000 a month car note, that's on me, not the Bentley drive or not. Look, some people say, man, that car salesman knew daggum well when he looked at my debt to income ratio, he knew I couldn't afford that Bentley. You think this fool is not gonna sell me that Bentley? And then I'll slap the mess out of somebody if they call him a cheating car salesman. No, he's supposed to sell me that Bentley if I'm stupid enough to put my name on the dotted line. So I can't give us the pass, man. I'm like this. I say, if we don't know what we're doing, just don't do it. If we not, I'm talking about just people, period. No matter what their color is. If people don't understand what you have and what it takes to run what you have, and then you go out there and buy weed or smoke it up or drink it up or gamble it up or spend it up on something that's gonna make you feel good temporarily, man, shame on you. I don't blame nobody for it.
Okay. Well, see, this is the thing though. In this market, man, you got to understand what is in this market. The market is about money. So if I play the lottery, and I understand I'm taking a position of somebody that plays the lottery, I'm trying to hit because I know that $1 may can get me out of this situation, and it may can secure me and my family for possibly the rest of our lives. And in this market that we live in, hey, it's a market. This market is driven off sales. And it also is driven off sales and sellers and consumers. That's what this market is. And we in the market. Bottom line, we in this market.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
I say the a bigger market than the lottery or anything that we just spoke on. The largest market that I see is the employee market. And you already know where I'm going. I always come back to this. And I just learned this in the last 5 years. I was a victim of it as well, the mindset of it. So the biggest market is you just said that, with the lottery, we feel like if we play the lottery, we can hit and it can set our families apart, or set our families up forever and so forth, right? That's what you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's flip that and say the job market. The job market is the biggest market because we unconsciously know it. We may not doggone admit it, but we know that the job market, I don't care how much you make, right? Because lifestyle comes with what you make if you irresponsible. So at the end of the day, the job market is the biggest hustle because many of us can point out people all across our families and friends and communities and everything who've been working a job 30 and 40 years and 20 and 30 and 40 years and have nothing to show for it, right? And so then on the flip side, whether the lottery might set us up for forever if we hit, but we can clearly see that the job don't set us up for what we really want. That's why we play the damn lottery, hoping that we hit, right? But we consistently go into that job and not even thinking that, wait a minute, this is a business, just like lottery is a business, just like the stock market's a business, just like consumer sales is a business. We consistently go into a job every day. And the stats show that 97%, I don't know where they got that number from, but I know I was in that 97%. 97% of people hate what they do for a living. Like, do not like it. They don't enjoy it. I don't want to say they hate it. They don't enjoy it. 3% of people actually do their passion. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what you doing for the people down there. If I can do that, not just voluntarily, but as a career, and my family, I'm not saying as a greed moment, and don't get it twisted, anybody on YouTube or anything else that's listening. I'm saying that 97% of people don't do what they do and don't 97% of people that do what they do on a daily basis for an income do not enjoy it. Now, I'll bring it back to the lottery and everything else. Like I said, it's a feel-good moment, but I believe that's why I'm in the field that I'm in and I'm educating myself in that field is because I believe the job market is the biggest hustle. It's a business. So I don't care if somebody tell me, man, I'm making $37 an hour. I still tell them, whatever you're doing is worth $67 an hour. You got to think of it that way. And the way hell somebody got a business running and they paying 10,000 of y'all, if you're at like the shipyard or anywhere else, they paying damn near 5,000 of y'all $31 an hour. And you think that whatever you doing, a toll on your body, it's not worth $75 an hour. You crazy as hell. It's called capital, man. I mean, it's called a gain, a profit. That man got to make a profit. He's not gonna pay you exactly what the job is worth. He damn sure gonna pay you more than what it's worth. So at the end of the day, I see all my people that I seen coming up that work 40 years and retired on 40% of their income or less. Ain't no way in the world my grandfather can work all them doggone years, retire, and only get like $900 a month. That's retarded. I don't care if you 67 and don't travel no more. $900 a month, boy. Hey, especially this day and age, there's some people that make it. But that's my spiel. I say the job market is the biggest hustle.
But see, that's the purpose of the market. The purpose of the market, you have to have those that's going to do the leg work or the dirty work. So you gotta have those, excuse me, you gotta have those that's going to work for 40 years and retire and have to draw that $900 check and live on that fixed income. Because if 50% of the workforce, you said 97% of the people don't like what they're doing, right? So let's say 50% of those that's working that don't like what they're doing create their own businesses, right? Let's say 50. So now you got 47% that are doing the jobs of all these business owners, right? The market ain't set up to have all business owners.
Mm-hmm.
The market is set up to have business owners, workers, and then dependents.
Consumers.
Yeah, consumers. That's the way the market is set up.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's set up to be that way. And not only is it set up to be that way, people are groomed to be in either the consumer position from birth,
Mm-hmm.
or they're groomed to be in a worker position
Mm-hmm.
from birth, or either they're groomed to be a boss
Yep.
from birth. These stages at which these three groups of people, no matter what area they may end in, they are groomed from birth.
And that's what makes the world go round.
Yeah, to be in a situation to keep this market flowing.
Exactly.
So for those that may work 40 years, have that money in their 401k, for that retirement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the government can, or not the government, the stock market, another market can decide that, well, that 401k money,
Ain't worth
we
nothing.
we're gonna invest it. We're gonna invest that in shady businesses
Mm-hmm.
and lose the investment. But just because it's in IRA, we can lose your money and ain't nothing you can do to me about it.
Mm-hmm.
You just took the L.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the part of the market. Let me tell you, I posted an article last night on Facebook. You know, I think was Equifax. One of the credit
Got
reports
breached.
got breached, right?
Mm-hmm. Like 2
Over,
months ago.
yeah, like over 100 million people personal
100,
information.
143 million.
143 million people personal information was stolen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Congress just passed the law saying that the consumers cannot sue the credit agency, reporting agency. They just passed it like 2-3 weeks ago. I
What
shared it.
law?
They just
You got
passed.
that article?
Yeah, it's on my Facebook page. I posted it last night. That Congress just passed. It was a 50-50 vote on the Senate, and Mike Pence, he was the deciding vote to say that the consumers cannot have a class action suit. I think it's Equifax.
I know it's Equifax. That's
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah.
And
They
I need to see. I'm not doubting the article. I'm not
yeah,
doubting that. I'm not
they
doubting that
passed.
there is an article, but I need
Yeah,
to
they
see the source.
passed it. They passed it so that the consumers cannot sue Equifax for the security breach.
Mm.
They just passed this. So what I'm saying is, in this market, even though we're in a market, and the market has a set of rules to function in the market, but even within that, the the businesses are at an advantage in the market because the people that make the decisions are usually in the pockets
Mm-hmm.
of the businesses, so they can um make decisions like that. But let me show y'all something. I wanted to screen. Let me show. I don't got off point. Let me share my screen right fast. I wanted to talk about this right fast.
Hey, why you sharing your screen, man? Is it any way that you can pull up that article after you do
Yeah,
what you're doing now,
I'm gonna pull it
so I
up.
can see the source?
Yeah, I got it. I'm gonna pull it up. Um, all right. I think this is good. See, oh man, I ain't want to go there. Well, this will work. But nah, this is what I wanted to show. You see, they got North Carolina education lottery, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to go to the full education, where the money goes. All right, let's see, where do the money go for the education? Now, according to this, over $5.2 billion has been raised for education through June the 30th of 2017. All right, so since 2006. That has added up to more than $5.2 billion for education since 2006. That's how much money has been made for education, according to the NC lottery, right? So, all right, here we go. This is where the pie is sliced up at. So, 57% of all the money has went to non-instructional support staff. So these are non-instructional support staff.
What does that mean?
So it's not the teachers. I
I
can
got
tell you
that part.
that.
So what is it?
It's a good question. Um, I don't know. That's look, we gotta find out because it's interesting. Non-instructional. So I don't know if is that the police officers? Is that security? I don't know. But I bet you security fall up under that. I can tell you that. Um, Bus drivers, I don't know.
I'm looking it up now.
I really don't know. That's a real good question. Who they are, but 57% of all the money is going to non-instructional support staff.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
19%.
guess what?
Go ahead.
No, keep going.
All
I'm
right,
just trying to figure out what is that because. Go ahead.
19% of the money has went to school construction. So 19% of the pie, hey, it's for the school construction. 12% went to pre-kindergarten. 6% went to LEA transportation. 4% went to need-based college scholarships, and 2% went to the UNC need-based financial aid. Um, just somebody talking about they got the scholarship. Um, Now we can actually go in here to see how our counties has fared, right? Let me go to Hertford County right fast. Julie, you all right? You went to sleep on us, have you?
No, I'm listening.
Oh, okay.
You may read the definition out to you, brother.
Yeah, go ahead.
It says definition of non-instructional personnel. The Board of Education defines non-instructional personnel as those positions that do not require a teaching license to provide a service for the district. The board of direct the board directs the district administrator or designee to develop administrative regulations for this policy. Administrative regulations for policy 401, definition of non-instructional personnel. 41-01, the category of non-instructional personnel will include but not be limited to aides, custodial, maintenance, food service, secretaries, and clerical. The business office will be responsible for the supervision of this category of personnel.
Interesting. That's interesting. So the like the school cafeteria, the aides.
They
So
said 57%, huh?
uh-huh. But yet the cafeteria, you gotta pay for your own food and stuff if you don't qualify because they're their own business now.
Yeah,
That's
they
interesting.
said that money was going to the actual personnel, the maintenance man,
Yeah.
the secretary, the freaking lunch lady or lunch man. I guess bus driver. I don't
But
know. I don't
that's
I don't know nobody that received none of that money, but all right.
let's see what in the physical year 2016 education programs in Hereford. This is Hereford County now, so it say Hereford, but I pulled up Hereford County. Received $1,313,889 in lottery funds. Elected officials in the state legislature decide how to best use the money provided to the state by the lottery each year. Here's a look at how the money supported specific programs last year. Look, non-instructional support.
Mm-hmm. It
Yeah,
takes
but
a team to make schools work. Lottery funds help support the operations of public and charter schools, including the cost of support staff such as office assistants, custodians, and man, look, substitute teachers. Look, man, who? Okay, so this right here. Look, man, I was thinking of this when you pulled it up and you started talking about it. This is the conversation that need to be had on camera in front of those officials, like your governors and your state your state officials, and then on a larger scale, the government, the federal officials. But nobody is having this because ain't nobody questioning it because they too busy playing it.
this is interesting, man. Yo, the college scholarship they got 60 pre-kindergarten school construction. This in Hereford County though. School construction, $202,000. Hold up. Students need places to learn. School systems can use lottery funds to help build and repair schools. Well, this helps me. Man, listen. Don't worry about it. Let me get out of this. I got some. Yeah, this is I don't know how we got to this, but this is very interesting.
We just went deeper. That's all. We
This
went
is
from the
very
surface to
interesting,
the core.
especially when it comes to Hereford County. Wow, this is ammunition. All right, let me get out of this. Let me get out of it. Okay, so as we can see, let me stop presenting, stop screen sharing. As we can see, the money that's for the schools is going to, not the teachers. The teachers ain't getting this money. That's all I'm gonna say. The teachers ain't getting the money, and
They said the substitutes getting
yeah, substitute. But from what I'm understanding, not the teachers I talk to.
it.
So I don't know. I don't know what's up here, but that's over $1 million that's supposed to came to Hereford County last year. Now that's a lot of money. So
Hey, you use the ammo, bro.
yeah, that's interesting there, right there. That's serious there. Wow, that's serious. But so as we can see, with the lottery, the breakdown of the money, we saw where it's at, family. So it's up to us to go a little bit deeper, find out really what's going on. But we always have to take accountability for our actions. Um, but I always say if you put candy or
Mm, mm,
if
mm,
you put something in front of somebody
mm.
that's addicted, 9
Okay.
out of the 10 times, if you put what they're addicted in front of them to,
Yep.
they're gonna reach out there and get it.
Now,
Especially
mhm.
when it comes to gambling. That right there, just the thrill of it, the possibility, more than just the lottery, but
I'm about
just
to say, and it's
gambling.
more than just gambling too, man.
Yeah,
If you,
just
if
in
you,
general.
yeah, yeah. But now that's a different conversation that you opening up when you said if you put something in front of somebody that's addicted, that's totally different from somebody that just got the free will. Because if you're addicted, you don't have your own free will no more. The addiction is running you. So that's a different conversation. So now let's move forward though. So how do, in your opinion, how do we combat that? Or can we even combat that? Somebody that's already what's the intervention that needs to take place? Not just on the lottery. Well, let's just stick with the lottery since that's the topic of the show. So what's the
Well,
intervention that needs to take place?
we can use me as a guinea pig. I used to play the lottery a lot. I used to go to the casinos a lot. I used to gamble a lot. I
Okay.
I was addicted to gambling. And what happened was, I don't know, everybody might not have the willpower like I got.
Well, I think that it ain't just the willpower. I think that it might be you got some knowledge from somewhere else that
I
combat
I,
that
I
combated it.
stopped.
You just
Yeah,
stopped cold turkey with no
yes,
knowledge.
I did. I stopped cold turkey.
I'm talking about why.
For one, I didn't have the money to keep spending,
That
right?
okay. Well, it's a lot of
That's
those.
one.
Well, hold on. You might be an exception to the rule, but it's a lot of those that don't have the money to keep spending, and they go out and start stealing for it. So, what
Yes.
made you not go that route? It wasn't that you just didn't have the money for it. It's something that triggered up in your skull for you to stop cold turkey.
No, actually, what it was when I was deciding on what I'm gonna pay and what I'm not gonna pay to
Mm,
gamble. When I got to that point wherein I possibly was not, I'm gonna be late paying a bill to gamble, or when I started depending on winning
mm,
to take care of stuff that I should have took care of before I went there, it was
mm.
enough with me. It was like, you gotta stop. So
So, right there, hold on, before you move past that, right there, do you think that there are people who get to that same crossroad but choose not to turn around,
oh yeah.
and they keep see that's the same thing I'm talking about. Like when people say for as addictions, it's some people that got to the addiction crossroad before it became a true addiction, and they turn around.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, only thing I know is I got to the point where I just stopped. So, I just stopped going. And it was so bad. Like with me at my job, we just used to close the business and go. we we would just close the business and
But
go.
if you were trying to teach somebody how not to do it or how to stop, could you?
Yeah. Well, first thing,
Right there you said that you don't even know, you just
I'm
stop,
saying my thing. If I know somebody that's playing it,
and
My
they're addicted.
first my first thing to them is I have to engage your willpower. I have
Mm-hmm.
to engage why you playing. Okay. If you stop playing, what else are you gonna do? What are you gonna do to replace what you're
Mm-hmm.
already doing? See, it's to me, it's basically on an individual basis how you approach the person. So if you approach somebody that financially they can keep playing and it's not going to affect them financially, I'm probably not going to say nothing to that person, because financially, if it's not affecting you, then I can't tell you not to. But if it's somebody that is okay struggling and they financially they know they need to stop, I would approach them differently if they want the help. First, you gotta want the help. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, I will engage the person according to how we conversate and what the feeling I get from them. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can shame somebody into guilt. Sometimes guilt in itself will make somebody stop doing something. But sometimes that might not work on certain people. So with me, I would say it's personal. It's like the energy or the feeling I get from the person in the conversation is how I would address it. So
Okay.
to me, I ain't gonna say it's one set way, because with me, I deal with people. So depending on how they giving it is how I give it back to them. As
Okay.
far as
So
the
would you
stop.
would you say this? Would you if you had to make a statement, an official statement on the record, would you say that you and I are on the same page with what we want to do for our community? May not be the same field, but overall on the same page.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I was financially stable enough to play the lottery for how much ever a day, and you had the same thought process of what you wanted to see for our community, even though I'm financially stable enough to play the lottery, still it may not be injuring me, but it's injuring the big picture of what we want to see for the community. Because that money can be spent on other things.
Yeah, but see, get into the when you get in the habit of telling other people how to spend their own money, you're crossing the line.
Well, I think that's what we've been doing on. I think that's what the conversation was like on the last show of
Well,
what is that money that what can that money be used for? That's what I got from the last show
no,
is
see,
what can that money be used for?
besides
Those
the
people,
lottery,
yeah,
yeah.
besides the lottery.
But see, this is the key though. What we were saying was, even if we didn't have the lottery, we'll find a different place to spend it.
I agree.
You get what I'm saying? So it's still going to be spent, but I can understand where you're coming from as far as trying to channel it. But like I tell anybody with any type of addiction, until you yourself decide that you want to quit, you ain't quitting. But once you make your mind up that you're not doing it no more, then the process of quitting is a whole lot easier. But
Okay.
it falls on the individual person to make their mind up. Enough is enough. And
Okay.
once you make your mind up, anything is possible. And one thing I've learned in my life and the way I live is that I can do all things once I make my mind up.
Mm-hmm.
Once I make my mind up, and we always say we speak things into existence. And like I was talking to one of my partners today about speaking things into existence. You can speak it, but if you don't put forth that energy, it ain't coming into existence.
Mm-hmm.
So you can speak that you're gonna stop gambling. You can call yourself speaking it into existence, but if you don't actually go about doing or stopping gambling, it's not gonna happen. That's like in the Bible, what it say, prayer without works is dead, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. Like it's the same. Some people where you can speak it into the universe. Yeah, you can speak it into the universe, but if you don't put forth that effort, it's not gonna come back to you. Just speaking it ain't gonna make it happen. So
Mm-hmm.
that's with anything that you do in life. You're gonna have to actually, once you make your mind up, you can make your mind up. Like when I smoke cigarettes, I quit cold turkey on cigarettes too. But I had made my mind up. I had started talking about quitting 2 or 3 months before I actually had the courage to do it. But it
Mm-hmm.
was in my mind, so I built myself up to the point where I just threw my cigarettes out the window and my lighter, and I never looked
Mm-hmm.
back.
Yeah, my grandma said something a long time ago, and my grandfather, a long time ago, that I think holds true still. No change happens until somebody is sick and tired of being sick and tired. We can be
Hmm.
sick and tired all day long of doing something that's in our head, but when we're sick and tired of being sick and tired, that's in our heart. And when it's in our heart, you can't, like some people say, "Oh man, I got sleepless nights. I can't rest and da da da." Well, that's in your mind, right? I mean that's in your heart because there's something inside of you in your soul. Don't let it sit up in your mind. You might can't fall asleep for a minute, but eventually you go to sleep. But when something is resting on your soul, which starts from the heart, because the heart is the central processing unit of your body, right? Other than your mind with all the information, but I'm talking about for is connecting to the soul. When that thing don't sit right in your heart, man, you can't go to sleep. And when they said that don't no change happen until somebody is sick and tired of being sick and tired, that's big, man. And I look at that from a totally different way that I used to look at it when I heard it as a teenager. And we can stick on topic and say with the lottery, you know, something. Here's the bad part about gambling, and we'll just leave it on the lottery or gambling period. But the bad part about it is is that you win sometimes. If you lost I don't know nobody that I know personally that played a lot of on a consistent basis and never won. They at least won $5, but over the year they spent $5,000. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the bad part about gambling is that sometimes you win.
And a lot you in, cause then, dang,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's
If I
serious.
if I won $50, man, God dog, I was two numbers off from winning that 500 million.
Yeah, that's serious, and it holds you. Hey, look, let me pull this article. I'm gonna share my screen again. I'm gonna pull this article up about
Mm-hmm.
about
Equifax.
yeah. Here we go, right here.
Hold
This
on.
this is
What's that? TC? What's that?
I'm going to the top. Let me let me zoom out.
TechCrunch.com.
Yeah, TechCrunch.
Man, I gotta see it. I gotta see it from a different source, man.
Yeah, go ahead. I saw it in multiple sources. It was just the first one, but it's up here. And it was posted yesterday
Congress votes to
to
dis. So we should
disallow.
be able to go to the United States Congress site and see the same
Yeah,
article.
yeah.
All
Congress
right, hold
votes to
on.
disallow consumers from suing Equifax and other companies with arbitration agreements. Right. So
Uh-huh.
so it said the vote was 50-50 with the tie breaking yay cast by Vice President Pence. So hey, it's up here, man.
I'm
I
on
read
house.
it. I will read
I'm on house.gov right now. So let me search. Do they have a law bill number that I can reference?
it. No, hold on. Here you go. HJ Resolution 11. Hold up. Yeah,
Uh, you
here you
said
go. You see it?
Resolution 11.
Yeah. H.J.Res.11.
Okay, hold on. Let me just Google that. You said H.J.Res 11.
Yeah, H.J.Res.11. It passed House on July the 25th, 231 to 190. Split right down party lines for one, and they're talking about who defected what or not. But
Man,
I can
all right.
click on it. I can click
Uh,
on it. I can click on it right now and go to it.
yeah, let me go ahead.
Here we go, Congress. Here we go. Can you see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Let me zoom in. You see it
Mm-hmm.
right here. Providing for congressional disapproval under Chapter 8 of Title 5 United States Code of this rule submitted by Bureau of Consumer Financial Protection related to arbitration agreements.
Mm-hmm.
So this was under the House.
Financial services.
Yeah,
Let's say July. Let's say July the 20th, man.
yeah, that's when it was presented.
How was it
Last
presented July the 20th, and the breach didn't happen until
because this
August?
this was presented before the breach. It make you wonder, don't it?
Ah,
Make you
that's a
wonder, don't it? It said, look,
no. I don't. It don't make me wonder. It make me know.
last action 10/25/2017 presented to president. So look, let's see all action. So this is real.
Oh no, I see it.
Look, past Senate vote on the 24th, 51 to 50.
Keep going down to the July part. Receipt. Hold on. All right, keep going. Keep going. All right, there you go.
July the 20th, it was introduced in the House.
Referred to the House Committee on Financial Services,
Mm-hmm. The
and then
24th.
Rules Committee resolution reported to House Rule Committee within 1 hour of general debate. Previous questions shall be considered as ordered without intervening motions, except motions to committee. All right, so it was passed on July the 25th.
Yeah. But look, check it out. So they done some amendment to it, right? But the House proceeded with 1 hour of debate on it, right? But
Uh huh.
when you see this, one passage passed, one passage passed by record vote 231 and 190.
Uh
The
huh.
next motion to reconsider laid on the table agreed to without objection.
Uh-huh.
725, 2007, received in the Senate, read twice.
Now look at that big gap.
Yeah, but see, check it out. Between 725 and 1024, what happened?
The information breach happened, man. No,
So,
the day that it happened, we had a huge look, man. I'm telling you, this is my area right here. Like we had a huge conference call on the day that it happened because for one, not only is the government, you know what I'm saying, um, in on the big thing, but who else is in on it as well is those corporations who protect your identity.
mm-hmm,
So when the breach happened, man, do you understand that those corporations who have identity theft guard and all this and all that, they made so much money. But here's what, and we have a service as well that does the same thing. And here's what they put out. You know, if because when you go to Equifax site and they said type in your social here to see if
mm-hmm.
your identity has your credit or identity has been breached. You type it in and they say the one like go and do it. When you type it in, it's gonna say
I done
there
done
has
it. It said I've
yeah,
been
there has
breached.
yeah. So but then Equifax themselves, that's why when you brought up the topic tonight, I was like, oh no, I need to see the source. Because Equifax themselves, right, they have protection thing as well that says you're guaranteed, right, to be protected if something were to happen, if you were breached. But here's the thing about Equifaxes: if you sign up for theirs,
Yeah, yeah.
you
Automatically,
automatically
yeah, waive your chance to sue
to
'em.
sue.
Yeah, look,
Exactly.
listen, when I read mine, I typed it in and said I was breach, and I read, so I
Yeah.
ain't just clicking no box with that
Yeah.
read.
Yeah.
So look, I read, and it was like, yeah, if you sign this, you're basically waiving your right to sue. I
Yep.
left it right then and there. I said, never mind. I ain't clicking nothing. Right. So, but what this also tells you is that the BIE came
Mm-hmm.
out also in between this time frame now.
That's a funny acronym, but go ahead.
Yeah, but look, it came out within the same time frame. So you can understand how I can surmise, and I'm not even a conspiracy theorist, but since we don't pull this up and I see that big gap, we understand that this was planned.
So why they call us bi?
I don't know. I don't know because we buy ourselves, I guess. But look, check it out. Check it out, though. You can see that this was planned. So not only was it planned, you can also see that not was it planned and was it also used to get the identity of certain people. So
Mm-hmm.
now these certain people, quote unquote, BIE extremists, we already got y'all. We already have y'all information. And
Mm-hmm.
it just made it easier. So now they already had a suspected list anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you can just look at all this and see how it's all playing itself out. But that's interesting. When I read that article, I posted. I was late. I didn't go into it and research it like I should. But when we done this, that's interesting. Now, for those who didn't catch this, who ain't watched this show, they missed a treat right then.
Yeah, that was deep.
Yeah, because that right there is something that need to be discussed right there. Why did they?
How you gonna present the bill July the 20th? For like, did you see it coming, or did you bring it forth?
And then it actually happened in August, but when it first happened, the CEOs of Equifax sold their stocks before they let it out to the public.
Wow,
They
Martha Stewart.
sold, yes, listen, they sold their stocks, the shares they had in the company before they came out and told everybody that they was breached. So they sold
Mm.
their shares of the company for the regular price and then said that the company was breached. So whoever brought them shares, right,
Took ownership of the
took a
breach.
loss. Soon as they said about the breach, the shares dropped.
That's crazy.
So it tells you the dirtiness and also it tells you how they have been planning this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Mm-hmm.
why they decided, well, we're gonna vote to make sure y'all can't sue because we already got paid.
Yep.
It's sad,
So
man.
so look. Uh, so one thing I want to know, and we'll get off the doggone Equifax thing, but how is it that you have no say so that your information, and when I say you, I'm talking about people, period. How is it that people have no say so? How is it that we have no say so that our information goes to these three bureaus and you can't do nothing about it? It's just the law of the land. It's just the way of the land. Like
Because
taxes.
we in this
It's nothing
market.
you can do. You can't do nothing about it. How
Listen,
did they set it up from the beginning? I'm curious. I don't know, so I'm
let
very
me.
curious. I need to go and
I'm
look
gonna
at it.
throw something out here right fast.
When did that come about that businesses and corporations and lenders had to report to these three bureaus and all of your information? Now, we all don't know that you got a birth certificate and a social security card, which that's all your information they need. But at the end of the day, man, it's so much. That's why I said the bigger hustle is way beyond the lottery and stuff. There's so much going on that we can't control
It's so
that we
far out
can.
there, but let
Oh
me tell
man.
you. Let me throw something at people right fast. Why do you? This is a question I ask people. That why do they? Why do you think Trump is going after illegal immigrants?
Mm.
Let's not only him, Barack Obama was transporting them too. Why do you think illegal immigrants and what an illegal immigrant is strictly somebody that don't have a birth certificate or a social security card? Let me just make that clear. Let's make that clear, right?
I already know. I already
Yeah,
know where you're
let's
going.
just make that very clear. Like, my baby mama, like one of my children, can be born here in America. I don't get them a birth certificate. I don't get them a social security card. They would be considered a legal
Oh
immigrant.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Why are they such a threat that they are deporting them away?
Because they can't be
And
traced.
Thank you. And when they not only they can't be traced,
It can't be
that's
taxed. They can
they
be,
can't be taxed,
yeah.
and they have no record of them,
Mm-hmm.
so they can't be monitored.
Monitored. Yeah, that's the bigger. That's why I said trace. That's the
Yeah,
bigger. That's the
they
biggest
have
thing.
they have no recollection of who you are,
You can do anything as a
and
man.
that's the biggest threat. Is those citizens that's not a part of the market, that is not accounted for in this market, but that is
What
wiggling in the market.
What's your personal opinion about that?
About what, the undocumented or the
Yeah, undocumented illegal immigrants. Like
it's
what do you
simply,
what do you say should happen to them?
I think that they are sovereign citizens.
Mm.
And I think if we actually would realize and think about this, we will remove ourselves out of this market. If we remove ourselves out of the market will crash.
Mm. I think you move yourself out of the market, they're gonna crash you.
No, no, I'm saying, okay, but so they're gonna kill everybody?
They already doing that, man. It's called
Well,
vaccination.
guess what? Well, guess what then? If they do that, in the essence, they would kill their slave labor.
Mm-hmm.
They would kill, in essence, what they would do is they would kill the bottom feeders, right?
Mm-hmm.
And their own will become the bottom feeders, or either they're gonna bring them from somewhere else. But eventually, what I'm telling you is the market is doomed to crash.
Oh yeah.
Right now, I can put up an article and show you where business insiders are already predicting in 2018 that United States is about to hit a stump in in growth. 2018, they're predicting real soon that things is really about to slow down in the United States of America. And we about to be affected tremendously. And I'm gonna throw one more thing at y'all. Let me share one more thing, and we're gonna end it with this. Julie, you got anything to say? Hop in here, Julie. Let me share one. Why y'all talk right fast? I'm gonna pull one more thing up to show y'all. Something right fast.
No, I'm listening. It's a little bit too American for me tonight, so I'm just listening and learning.
Well, no, well, okay, Julie. Well, I'm gonna bring something out of you that came from the last show. So last show, right? It's a Stuart. You know, I told you I had some things I want to talk about, and Julie made some very good points that y'all brothers, I think in the heat of the moment just blew right past, right? So I kind of hinted on the first thing. Julie said that. Hold on, let me rewind a little bit. Julie said the Negroes in America need to get their stuff together, and then when y'all need to step it up a bit, and then y'all said, well, she didn't say America. She said need to step it up a bit, and then y'all, asked her to clarify, and she mentioned, those black males in the UK. So I have something I want to say about that. All right. So I think we all do, Julie. And I don't know how the black females are in the UK, but I saw where I listened to um when brother, what's his name, man?
Melvin.
Melvin. When brother when brother Melvin started going in on interracial dating and all the other stuff, it kind of it felt like it put a little sour taste in your mouth. How did you feel about that, Julie?
Oh my goodness, you're putting me on the spot now.
Nah, we all on the spot. Because I was so mad. I told Stuart, I said, man, I think that's one show. Because I missed a few shows, man, but I think that's one show that I would have loved to have been on because it was some good stuff said. So how do you feel about that interracial
I
dating
have no problem
or
with it. I'm being very honest. I have no problem with it in the sense
mhm.
that I'm a black female. and it's very hard to find a black man to match me. So what must I do? Stay on my own forever?
You said to match you.
Yeah.
What can you define that? What do you mean by that?
Financially, mainly. You know, it's hard. I was in a barber shop the other day and I heard three black men talking about how they they left their baby mothers. I hate that phrase, baby mother. They left their baby mothers because they could not compete with benefit money, social security money. That's weak. Social security money isn't much. So if your woman is forced to go on benefits, God forgive me, what kind of useless man are you?
Okay, hold, Julie. Whoa. I want this, boy. I'm glad we live. Hey, check this out, Julie. So,
Hey,
and you know,
look,
and look, huh?
Me and Julie done had this conversation plenty of times.
Okay, I got you.
Go ahead.
No, because I'm just gonna ask her in a question form the same thing that she said. And Julie, just to let you know, this is all out of love. We can agree to disagree on it at any time. So check this out, right? You said that you heard three black men talking about how they left their baby mama because they couldn't compete with the free services or free money, right?
Yeah.
And then you said what kind of something
That's
you put
in my opinion.
Yeah. We talking about your opinion and mine. So let me ask you this though. You said that you can't find a black man to match you. So I asked you, what did you mean? What's your definition of matching you? And I never got the answer.
I can't support anyone. I'm a woman. I'm not supposed to operate in a man's role. You're the man. You're supposed to be a provider, although we work together. Do you understand? I'm not, but I can't support you as a man. No, I can't do that.
So do you think that's a modern thought process or a traditional process? I mean thought process.
Traditional.
Okay,
You're
so
supposed to be the man of the house. End
gotcha.
of story.
Here's a thing that I talk about a lot, and I think that we have a tough time deciding whether we're going to be in 2017, whether we're going to be traditional, modern, or balanced. Because there's certain things that we want to stay traditional on, what a man's supposed to do or what a woman's supposed to do. And then it's certain things that we want to be modern on. And I think that's where the conflict comes into play. Because we want to tell our sons, hey, man, open up the door and pull out chairs and do this and that, or you do the yard work. But then if the man say, well, the woman do the housework, it's sometimes an issue. It's like, no, we supposed to split the housework. But I'm talking about American men and women. I don't know what the UK like. So I think that we run into a problem where we don't know what's traditional or what's modern, or finding a balance in between. Because if
I don't want to comment.
Huh?
Yeah.
No, here over here in the US, right? This from my opinion. If the woman expresses what you just said right there of how a man can't match you, if the woman expresses that over here, well, it's gonna be hard to find a man to match you, or even want to, because you just expressed that. Because I can't find no woman. It's like one of the dudes that I watched also on YouTube said, we can't find no infrastructure in the history of the world that all women built. Buildings, bridges, underwater tunnels. We can't find no infrastructure that what we live on and travel on a daily basis. And this ain't getting no gender wars. I'm just being honest. So if a man constantly puts down and says we can't find no women that can match us on building a world or building a society, how would you feel about that? Would it offend you?
Using the wrong. How can I put it? I just know that I'm a woman.
Uh-huh.
and we are forced to step up.
Hmm.
I was forced to step up and do better for myself for the sake of my children, but I don't see men raising their game in such a way. They're kind of lazy. God forgive me,
Oh
Lord.
my God.
There's a laziness here in Britain with black men. There's a kind of laziness,
Yeah.
and oh, it's too hard.
All right, let me
And they'd
jump.
rather find a woman to look after them.
Uh-huh. That's what they say about us in the States too, Julie.
Uh,
It ain't
uh,
just in the UK. Go ahead, Stuart.
let me jump in here right fast. See, this is what I get from Julie. Julie is surrounded by men that's not on her level financially. That's one. This is what I get from her. Two, when she may have had men that was financially on her level, that's from the UK. They wasn't good men. So I think Julie a little better. And I love Julie, but I think she's a little better. And right now, the place and the space that she's in, she's saying she need a certain type of man. And I think that she need to come to America because apparently what's over there where she at, they ain't fin the description. And also, I don't know how, but this idea of a white man or a man of another race doing something that a brother can't do, I don't see that at all. And then we had this conversation. I ain't really trying to talk about it, but me and I had this a lot, and I don't want to turn it into a heated argument.
Oh.
So me and Julie had this conversation quite often, but I just feel like you know, over there and over here as well, I admitted in that show that we all need to change. We all need to better ourselves.
Mhm.
Everybody. That's from top to bottom.
Mhm.
That's not just men, that's women as well.
Mhm.
But you can't judge all men by a couple of men. I'll put it that way. And I just feel like she's in a financial spot that is she's doing well, she's doing good for herself, and she don't want to take care of man. In essence, she don't want nobody. She don't want another kid, and that's understandable.
Gotcha.
That's
Julie.
understandable, but you can't
Yeah,
just
Stuart, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you
go
off,
ahead.
brother.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I lose train of thought quick. Julie,
yeah.
has it always been in the UK history that women has been in a financial has been in a higher financial situation than men?
No,
When so okay, so the tables have turned just like here in
yeah,
America. Here in America, most women, because of the feminist movement, I heard my man Melvin and Stewart tap on this a little bit, but most women are in a position or at least have the opportunity more so than men. That's not using no excuse because there's all types of opportunities that we turn down because we think somebody out to get us. But at the end of the day, so if it's never been like that, do you think that your type of thinking right now, and especially what you expressed about the no good, lazy, da 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 da, ain't that the same way that men used to talk about women when they had the upper hand? And women got tired of it and they combined together to make a feminist movement. The feminist movement wasn't just here in the United States, that was across the world.
I don't know about black women in Britain and that feminist movement. I
I'm
don't
talking
know.
about women, period. Black women didn't start the feminist
Mm,
movement.
not yeah. It's a bit different.
Some
We've
of
been
y'all
in
same
here
friends,
since
some of
the
y'all
60s.
same friends that you that y'all might, of different cultures. Some of their folks started the feminist movement and our women jumped on board with it. How do you feel about that?
I don't know because we haven't been here that long. We haven't been in Britain that long. Our parents came here in the 60s. The,
Mm.
the African migration is since like 2000.
Okay.
So, I'm not sure about that.
Okay. Sorry for spinning the show, Stuart. That's
No,
one
no,
of
it's
the things.
okay. No, y'all good. Listen, listen. It's a good conversation.
That's one of the things I want to touch on.
We
The
can
second
have
thing.
we can have a show
Uh-huh.
about that where Julie can invite some more of her friends, like maybe
That
Nyla.
would be great.
Nyla can come up here on the show with you. If you got anybody else over there that maybe we get a couple sisters from over here. And we can have a show and talk about that. That's something that we can all discuss. But like I keep telling Julie, you can't give up hope yet. But
No.
now let me share my screen. I want to before we get off, I just want to give everybody some good news. Um, can y'all see this?
Mm-hmm.
This is a rumor suggests Amazon will begin accepting bitcoins. So, I just throw that out there that Amazon, it's a meeting coming up that they're gonna have. It's a conference coming up, and in this conference, Bitcoin is gonna be in the call. So if Amazon starts accepting Bitcoins, just look out, family. That's all I'm gonna say, y'all. If Amazon starts accepting Bitcoins, that means you can buy basically Amazon sells everything, anything you can think about. And one more thing, a quick plug for anybody that's watching. Let me see if I can pull this up. We having my internet working real good today, boy. This sucker is on fleet mode today. We having our coat drive. Let me see. Come on, let's make it quick. I should have pulled this up ahead of time. But our coat drive is November the 4th. We're gonna be on Main Street, and we bring the turkey barbecue back out. So you bring a new coat or a fairly used coat, and what we would do is we're gonna give you some free turkey barbecue and stuff. And this November the 4th, next this is next Saturday actually. Yeah. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday. And we try to get people to come out here and give us some coats, man, so we can give the coats to the schools like we do. We get the coats to all the schools and the homeless where we in our area. We donate the coats. This is what NCRBG is all about. So we got the coat drive coming. Our year anniversary is coming up. Maybe we'll talk about that in the next show. Get more members up here. So we can talk about that, and we can look back from a year ago from when we started to where we at now. And I thank everybody for watching the show today. I'm gonna give everybody a chance to close out. But this is my closing statement to the family. I thank y'all. Let me stop sharing. Thank y'all for watching. You always come through. And we're just gonna keep things. We're gonna keep things moving, y'all. We're gonna keep it moving. We all about positivity. We don't dwell on the negative things. We keep it positive at all times. And that's it. So, I'll tweet you and Julie. Y'all can close it out.
I got a question of you, man.
Go ahead.
The local election down there. When is that?
Um,
November
early vote,
7th?
early voting already started.
Yeah, I
So
got that. When is the
yeah,
decision?
November
November
the
the 7th?
7th is actually the actual election. That's on that Tuesday. So we're gonna have our coat drive that Saturday, and that Tuesday is actual election. So hopefully that Wednesday we'll have two NCRBGZ members that will be on the town council, for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big movement. That's that's a show in itself. And
Yeah.
I'm kind of like keeping it quiet because right now we got to put the groundwork in. Right now, we don't put the groundwork in, so now we got to get the family out to vote. That's the main thing. Now we got to take advantage of voting right now.
Hmm.
If we have a big turnout, I know for sure it's an easy victory.
So sometime Wednesday, you should know the results.
Yeah, hopefully Tuesday night.
Yeah,
Yeah, because hopefully it be over with by the time early voting over with.
that'll be great.
You know what I'm saying? That's my thought process is go and end it at early voting. So by the time early voting over with, there's no reason to have an election because well, I mean people still gotta come and vote, but that's my plan. My plan is to it should be wrapped up by early voting.
Y'all have anything set up for the seniors to get to and from if they don't have no transportation?
Yeah, we gonna take them.
Gotcha. That's all I have, man. Hey, I thank y'all for the show. Julie, everything I said was all out of love, man. I appreciate everything you do. Every time you get up here, you always got something um, to say or not to say. And either way, it's a blessing.
And not all black men are bad. No. Maybe
No,
Stuart's
cause you
right.
got two good ones right here on the line with you.
Julie gonna be all right. Julie gonna be all right. Julie, you want to end this out in prayer?
I think we
Uh,
need it.
Almighty Father, we thank you for tonight. We thank you for health and strength. We thank you for your grace and your mercy towards us. None of us are perfect. We thank you for your Holy Spirit, which guides us in everything that we do. Help us to remember you in everything that we do and to honor you in everything. Almighty Father, thank you for the discussion tonight. Thank you for Stuart and all the good work he's doing. May you continue to bless, increasing, increase him. Thank you for El Tariq. May you enlarge their territories, both of them. Almighty Father, we thank you. We bless your name. Amen.
Amen.
All right. All right.